Welcome back. Today we will configure VTP on switch. Well, VTP, we will configure VLAN 10 in name cells, and we will configure this switch as a VTP mode server. By default, each and every switch is server, but we will change these two switches as a client. So anything or any VLAN that we write it here or we configure in this switch will automatically come to the rest of these two switches. It will distribute the configuration, whether creating VLAN, changing VLAN number, changing VLAN names. Everything will be done on this switch, and it will contribute to the rest of these switches. So the VTP is good for some organizations when the administrator has so many switches and want to configure the VLANs. It's okay to it's good to use the VTP. There is many ways like the automation, networking. So now let us configure the VTP. Say enable. Let's first check VTP stats. We will create a domain name. We will create a password. And by default, the VTP operating mode is server. So let us configure it. First change host name, then say VTP mode server. Says device mode already VTP server. So now let's create the domain name. Domain will be Cisco, for example. Let's create a VTP password, which will be Cisco. Now let's create VLANs, for example, VLAN 10. Name will be cells. VLAN 20. Name HR. VLAN 30. Name IT. Do right. Now let's configure these two ports as a trunk. Interface range F0/1 to 2 switch port mode trunk. Let's come to this switch. To show VTP stats, by default it's server. So now let's change it to client. Say mode client. We have changed it from server to client. Let's create the VTP domain was Cisco. VTP password was Cisco. Let's change these two interfaces as a trunk. Say exit. Host name will be SW3. VTP mode client. VTP domain will be Cisco, and VTP password will be Cisco. Interface range F01 will be switch port mode chunk. And show interface trunk. Yes, we have trunking. Show VTP stats. We have created VTP domain name and the mode is client. So now let's say show VLANs. You can see on switch 3 we have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. Let's count the switch. Say end. Oh, let's say show VLAN as well as we have these 3 VLANs. Let's create a new VLAN, VLAN 50, name management. I'm here. You can see VLAN 50 management. It will directly contribute to the rest of the switches, as you can see. That's how to configure the VTP on switch.